I may cuss, but I don't curse. Let's get that situated first. We're doing a collective reading right now, so this can be any sign, all signs, cross swatches. If you're just interested in astrology, this might be your first time coming to the channel. I thank you for being here. It's going to be a 3-card draw. Ain't going to hold you long, all right? Spirit, guide me to interpret these cards. We're going to start off with the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups, y'all. We are going to continue with this, the Morning in reverse. Lastly, but not least, we have the 5 of Torches. This is interesting. Okay, something you've been doing, working on, felt so connected and deeply involved with and connected to is starting to look like it's not priority right now. People may even be asking you about it, anticipating it, but that even makes you feel more like it's an anxious attachment to the project. It's almost like they have more of an anxious attachment to the project than you do. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or a good thing, especially if you're doing something creative and you're known for it, you're used to doing it, and people are onlookers. They're involved with it as well. It's sort of like fan stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not to downplay fan. You probably got to change that word around. Supporters. You got supporters out there looking at you to do that thing. But you, on the other hand, you're like, I got another mountain to climb. I got something else to do before I do that. So it's kind of like, this sounds like just a true artist. You know what I'm saying? Like true artists, if they could go through, make a project in one whole sitting, or they can start it, put it down, go back to it, put it down, go back to it, put it down, etc., etc. You get the gist, right? And that's what I'm feeling is happening at this particular time. And the way that you feel about it is, you're not as inspired and fired up to get to it first thing in the morning as you normally would. Like the morning time even has something to do with it. It's almost like nightlife. It's like the creativity that's needed for the project that you're leaving behind. And not saying that you're totally leaving it behind, but the type of energy, the type of inspiration is drawn from like nightlife activities, whether that's a nightcap with a drink and a cigar and talking to a buddy, or, you know, I'm not even going to get to how outrageous that can go, but you get what I'm saying, right? Going to the titty bar and watching some tits. You get what I'm saying? It's like this nighttime type of aura that is more encouraging to get the type of material out of this thing that you want. And not for nothing, you have something else that has grasped your attention that actually does get you fired up and getting up in the morning to address that. All right? So what I'm seeing is that thing that gets you up in the morning is something that's going to help you elevate, something that's going to help you climb. And you will actually, I'm seeing the moon in the 5 of Torches card. It's telling me you're going to get back to that element of nightlife inspiration, we'll just call it, because you don't have to necessarily participate in those activities. But climbing this new mountain on the way to doing this other thing that has you inspired when you get up in the mornings, this is going to get you back to the vibe, back to the frequency, back to the element. It's kind of like juggling. It's like you need the other ball. Pause. You need the other ball in order to make it a cohesive thing. You understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't go right if you're just throwing one ball up in the air and catching this. It's not enough stimulation for you. It's making you bored. You need 2 things handled at one time. Picking up strong Gemini energy just based off of the description. And another reason for leaving or putting down your creative project, I feel like this one that you're working on now is more technical, and it might even correlate with the creative thing that you put down. But the reason that you left the creative thing or put it down is because you want to make revisions to the way that you communicate it, to the way that it comes across. you want to make sure that it has the strongest advertisement impact that it possibly can. And if you just kept on going, then you would be rushing that process. And I feel like this thing that you're embarking on now, momentarily or in the meantime, correlates with it somehow. And it's going to make it more impactful for that. So there's a method to it. It's just, you're not allowing yourself to be rushed into completing it for the sake of other people's enjoyment. If they're true supporters, they'll wait around and stick it out for you. Pause. That's crazy work. Until next time, I'm out.